Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at property address 6521 Southeast 64th Avenue here in Portland. I describe everything as if you are standing in the street facing the front of the house. Alright, bear with me, I'm jotting a note down here real quick. We got a 4-inch ABS cleanout just to the left of the front doorway. In fact, it's kind of a little landmark here. This one's sticking out of the ground, but it's when it's close enough you could lose track of it if you put more bark dust down. So just to the left of the front door here, where the wall is kind of flattened out, not on that angle, you are right between boards number 1 and 2. If you were to count from the door over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right between that, right there. So anyway, should you ever lose track, you can always go back and watch the video and figure it out. Check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's running. Off we go. And right out of the gate, nice clean flow line. Nice to see that. Not a bunch of grease buildup. It's a common issue. If I can give you one pointer, I've done almost 25,000 scopes now. Lots of drain cleaning, and grease buildup has become one of those things that concerns me more than a lot of structural issues, like bellies and offset joints, for instance. Not that they can't cause problems, but big contributing factor to a lot of blockages occurring is the line getting gunked up with grease, often coupled with, sometimes a structural issue, sometimes not. But all those things end up compounding on each other. And it's often the job gets finished when a kiddo flushes 14 balls of toilet paper down the line, or someone puts some paper towels or wipes down there. It's usually a conjunction of things, but grease is often in the mix, is what I've found. So it's about the one thing you can actually do as a homeowner to maintain your sewer line. Otherwise, it's at the will of Mother Nature. So you want to keep as little of that going down the line as possible. We've reached the main here at 48 feet, and we did swap over to PVC pipe a moment ago. I think I was in the middle of my grease PSA there when we went past the transition. And I'll point that out as we come back in, check the diameter of it. That's the main there, and thus far, very nice looking sewer line. We're gonna go locate here while the pipe drains. Alright, located the camera head successfully. Line terminates on 64th, and where I just picked that locate up there, sorry, I just got a phone call and got distracted there. Where I picked the locate up in the street and turn around and look back at the house, I'm just about looking straight back at the clean out. So the line does a pretty darn straight shot all the way to the main. Out through the front yard, which is nice. Should a repair ever be necessary? In this case, because you don't have a sidewalk out here, I mean, nearly all of the sewer line is under just dirt. Sidewalks and stuff ever go in, you might have a little bit more there, but that's a nice advantage should that ever be necessary. Saves money in repairs. And the transition here, that looks pretty darn flush. Looks like your 4-inch pipe end to end here. Anyway, back to the grease thing. This is exactly how you want your line to look. Just keep the cooking oil and grease from going down the line. You can keep your line looking spiffy.
No.
All right, we're going to go ahead and flip the camera around here. And if you are new to home ownership, want a little 2 cents on kind of the rule of thumb I give most people to live by as it relates to keeping the line clean. You don't need to go crazy, but big thing is if you've got your frying pans or whatnot, if there's enough oil on that pan when it's hot or warm, that if you were to turn it sideways, there's enough on there that it runs off the pan in beads or worse. It's at that point you want to do something about it. You either pour it into a jar while it's still liquid, or you scrape it off into a garbage can after it's cooled down, and or wipe it out with a paper towel. Thin little coating of Pam spray, no big deal. Hot water and soap handles that. Hot water and soap are always your best friends when it comes to that kind of stuff. And one of the keys to making sure it doesn't get hung up in the line when sun gets down there, make sure you run your hot water for about a full 30 seconds to a minute after your last dish was washed. That helps to ensure that anything that did get down line remains melted and emulsified till it gets to the main, or at least a good distance from the house. Once that water leaves the interior of the home, it's underground, and stuff starts cooling down really quickly. So there's just some pointers you can do to help keep stuff at minimum. And that's what this house is doing. That little bit of yellow stuff you see in the flow line, very minor example of grease. A little bit's going to get down your line. It's hard to avoid it. It's when you're putting real quantity down there is where it gets you. So anyway, fabulous looking sewer line. We just ran all the way to the back end of to the vent stack at the back of the house there. This line is basically updated end to end. Looks fantastic. Zero structural defects, no buildup. That's about all you can ask for right there. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time.